2025 timeline for CR1 and IR1 spouse visa. This is Fred Wahl, the Visa Coach. Today's topic is, what is the timeline to get a spouse visa? From watching the rom-coms, one gets the impression you can meet someone overseas, fall in love, marry, then whisk your partner onto the next flight to the USA for a happy ever after. But it doesn't work that way. Sorry, but you have your work cut out for you. It's going to take a major investment in time, patience, and energy to actually go from honeymoon to honey, I'm home. Before you decide to marry and embark on an application for a spouse visa, it's important that you understand, well, how long it will take. Many of my clients were unpleasantly surprised when, after they returned from their honeymoon and they began researching the process, that they found that things weren't the way they wanted them to be. Best is you understand the details now, early, before you marry, because at this time you still have different options to bring your partner to the USA. You still have the option of doing a K1 fiancé visa instead. I am Fred Wahl, the Visa Coach, and I help you get through a confusing and frustrating immigration process so that you can have a happy life together in the USA with your foreign partner. Now, let's talk about how long does it take to get a spouse visa. The visa process involves two U.S. government departments. USCIS stands for United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, and the U.S. Department of State. Now here's a breakdown of the timeline. At USCIS, your application is initially sent to a USCIS lockbox, then redirected to a regional processing center in California, District of Columbia, Missouri, Nebraska, Texas, or Vermont. At the regional processing center, USCIS officers will examine your application, the forms, the documents, and evidences to confirm that you are eligible to apply for your spouse. Their review includes an FBI background check on any criminal history, and also, your spouse's, if she or he had ever lived in the USA before. The current expected processing time at USCIS has recently been 13 to 18 months, quite slow. Some cases, may go faster, and some may take longer. How long your specific case will take, is a function of the quality and completeness of your petition, how busy the processing center is, how up-to-date your FBI file is, and finally, the individual officer who is assigned to review your case. Some reviewers are quite professional and fast and efficient, but unfortunately, not all work to that same standard. Common and avoidable sources of delay come from making mistakes in completing the forms and missing or illegible evidence. Now, once USCIS is satisfied that you are eligible to apply, they pass your case on to the State Department's National Visa Center, NVC, in New Hampshire. NVC has instituted an online document submission system. First, you scan, then upload to their website the relevant civil documents like birth, marriage, and divorce certificates. And then we add your proof of financial eligibility, such as signed affidavit of support, tax returns, employment verification, pay stubs. And finally, we include your spouse's police clearances. Now, on submission of the documents, NVC reviews the evidence and usually, in about 2 months, confirms that the materials are acceptable, that your case is now documentarily qualified. Then, for about 2 and more months, NVC goes dark and there is no further contact with NVC until they finally email you to confirm a date and a time for your partner's counselor interview. Then NVC forwards your case to the embassy and consulate. Usually the interview has been scheduled to take place about 2 months after that. Now, once the interview is held, your spouse's passport, including its CR1 or IR1 spouse visa inside it, is returned to your partner, who can then start making travel arrangements. To summarize, the timeline usually breaks down as follows. At USCIS, the review part takes 13 to 18 months. At NVC, their initial review takes about 2 months. And then at NVC, they take about 2 months to get back to you with a scheduled date. And finally, that scheduled date at the consulate is about 2 months later. And the visa will arrive about 2 weeks after the actual interview. So the grand total is around 19.5 to 24.5 months. Now, just like in the medicine commercials on TV, your results will vary. Maybe some cases will be faster and some will be slower. But for your general planning purposes, I do suggest you roughly anticipate your case to take about 1.5 years from start to finish. At the end of the day, you probably, won't be too far off. Now, some factors that affect processing time are, number one, whether your application is complete and accurate. Number two, how busy the USCIS processing center is where you send your case. How complete your FBI background check is. And then when we get to NVC, basically how busy they are. And finally, when it gets to the consulate, how busy they are and how big is their backload. Backload. Sorry, there is no way to speed up how quickly the government processes your case. But on the other side, there are many ways you can accidentally slow things down. The best way to avoid delays and ensure a smooth process is to submit a well-prepared, thoroughly documented application from the get-go. And hopefully, you'll choose VisaCoach to help you with that. This was Fred Wahl, the VisaCoach, and I'm here to personally guide you on this journey. Now, please like or add your comments to this video. And check here to sign up for our monthly newsletter and receive bonus ebooks. Here for YouTube's recommendations. Here for the playlist of recent videos on spouse visas. And here to subscribe to our channel.